When we first get going in our wedding filmmaking career, we're full of passion, excitement, and unfortunately, a little bit of innocence that is inevitably taken advantage of. We honestly don't really know what we're getting ourselves into. We're just simply excited that someone is taking the chance on us, until we're hit with those unrealistic expectations, thousands of revisions, a degraded self-worth, and your freaking will to live. So today I want to talk about 5 red flags to avoid as a wedding filmmaker. Red flag number 1 is no day of coordinator. Now, as you film more and more weddings, you might inevitably eventually run into this, where the couple just tried to cut some corners, save some money, and just went the DIY route for their wedding coordinator. Now, I'm all for saving money when it comes to a wedding. I'm going through this right now, and it's a lot. But without a day of coordinator, what this does, it leads to chaos. It leads to miscommunication and unnecessary stress that will greatly impact the quality of your work. Everyone will look to you as the photographer and the videographer to manage the unmanageable and simply keep things moving. This honestly should not be your job. It just doesn't work. Something always goes wrong, things get delayed, and your end product suffers because your mind is all over the place, and when the couple receives everything and things just aren't up to their expectation, guess who they're gonna blame? Not themselves for not hiring a day of coordinator, they're gonna blame you for simply everything. When your mind is simply overcrowded on the wedding day, it's impossible to focus on what you're hired to do. So it's not worth your stress, it's not worth your time, and it's definitely not worth your reputation. Red flag number 2 is couples who want full creative control. When couples want full creative control, it's a red flag because it can lead to micromanagement, creative clashes, and compromised quality. It really undermines your expertise. When couples demand creative control, they simply don't trust you to create what they want. And you'll spend more time worried about checking off every box on the couple's list versus being fully present and capturing the day as it naturally unfolds. Conflicting visions usually equals a compromised product. Or my personal favorite, where the couple wants a specific color palette. It's not in your wheelhouse, definitely not in line with your signature product or your brand, but you oblige, you give them what they want, they tag you on social media, slap an Instagram filter on it, and you die a little bit inside every single time. And just because you're trying to make the couple happy, what ends up happening is down the road, you look at your films, it doesn't look like you feel this huge disconnect, and it leads you down a very dangerous path of insecurity, doubt, and burnout. So you want to set expectations early. You want to have clear, descriptive language on your website, your copy, how you communicate with the couple. You want to show exactly the kinds of weddings that you want to film. And you want to focus more on collaboration over control, because there is a difference between the two, and you can still incorporate the couple's goals while also remaining true to who you are as an artist. Aren't you tired of spending days, weeks, months, and years editing your life away? I know I am, and that's why I needed someone to just take it all away from me. Take away the stress, alleviate the pressure, give me back time back in my day to spend with family, friends, work on other aspects of my business that need my attention, and that's where Uncut Gems comes into play. Uncut Gems is a high-quality video editing solution that I've been using for the last year, and they've seriously transformed my films, gave me so much time back in my life, and they can do the same for you. And right now they are offering you guys 65% off on your first edit. So head over to Uncut Gems and use my code WAYWARD at checkout so that you can kick backlog in the face and get back to being excited about your business. Red flag number 3, mom is simply not the client. Your couple is the client, plain and simple. Not mom, not dad, not the bridesmaids, not the planner, not the DJ. You are creating a film for the couple. And you can usually spot these red flags when the mom reaches out and disregards your interest in speaking to the couple, and you end up having just this constant back and forth where you're trying to get more information about the couple, who they are, and the mom's just telling you all this stuff, and it's just messy. If you can't speak to the couple directly, you should really call it quits right then and there. Unless, of course, your brand is just pretty hands-off and you're just filming weddings with a very formulaic approach. To that, I say, hey, if that works for you, that works for you. Conflicting direction usually equals creative chaos. And when there are multiple cooks in the kitchen, you can't operate at your best and you end up feeling stuck trying to please everybody, and it ends up with this watered down product that does nothing but create friction in the creative process. And then you have contract and payment complications because oftentimes the couple isn't the one footing the bill, so it creates these blurred lines between who exactly is your client, and oftentimes the one that is paying for the service feels entitled to the creative direction and the liberty of the final product, even if it contradicts with the couple's wishes. So when there's no clear decision maker, this is where you risk creative compromises, emotional stress, and product delays. So set expectations early, define roles clearly, and protect your creative process through strong communication and airtight contracts. Which leads me into number 4, and that is a disregard for contracts. When a client shows a disregard for contracts, honestly, it's a major red flag because it signals potential legal, financial, and professional risks. And contracts aren't just legal formalities. They are really the foundation for setting clear expectations, mutual accountability, and professional boundaries. If someone hesitates on signing a contract or wants to remove key clauses, it often hints at a deeper issue and could potentially cause serious problems down the road. Weddings are high-stake events. There are no do-overs. You need clear terms to protect both parties. A client who's simply casual about contracts could be casual about making payments on time or respecting your creative process. And without a signed contract, you're vulnerable to late payments, non-payment, or a dispute over costs. Clients might simply try to change the payment terms, not pay at all because they're dissatisfied with the product, or withhold final payment because they want you to create something else for them that was not in the original dialogue between the two. And having a contract outlines the deliverables that you are sending to your couple. How many hours of coverage, the types of edits, the deadlines, revision policies, payment schedules. And without it, clients will simply take advantage of you and inquire for more products than was initially decided on, like extra footage, raw footage, revision on revision on revision. So stand firm in your business because I guarantee you the right clients will eventually find you. And red flag number 5 is the Vimeo bride. Now when I first got started, I'll admit I didn't have an extensive portfolio. I maybe had 4 to 5 solid weddings on my website, and I would frequently be getting inquiries with couples sending me other filmmakers' work asking if I can create something similar to this. Or here's what we really hope our wedding film looks and feels like. And I gotta say, those emails always make you feel inadequate. Doesn't matter what stage you're in. And honestly, I think it's a terrible idea for couples to set these unrealistic expectations on these young, impressionable, inexperienced videographers who are simply just trying to make a name for themselves, who already have self-esteem issues for even starting a business, thinking that they can make this work, and then they're reminded by couples that they're simply not good enough. This is obviously where the bitterness started for me, if you can't tell. Yeah. But if you do have a brand today with a consistent portfolio, and you get hit with that email from a potential couple, or from a couple that you have already booked with, and they ask you to replicate it, and if you can create something similar to this, just say no. Let them go. Because this just simply tells you that they don't value what you bring to the table. They are simply settling with you because the person they actually wanted was unavailable. And it just puts a mountain of unnecessary pressure and stress on you to be someone that you aren't. And yet I get the argument out there that, oh, well, Jared, this could be a creative challenge where you get to implement someone else's style or you get to practice it a different genre. No. And you want couples that simply trust you to create something beyond their wildest expectations. And when couples come to you with these unrealistic expectations and demand you do X, Y, and Z, it just simply leads to a bad experience for you, for your couple, and it's just not worth it. But those are my red flags for wedding filmmakers. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this video helpful and valuable in some way. If you did, it would mean so much if you consider liking and subscribing. Drop a comment below. Let me know some of your red flags that you've experienced throughout your journey as a wedding filmmaker. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. So drop a comment below, and until next time, keep creating and telling beautiful stories. Peace.